Welcome to Discovering. I have a mixed bag of stories for you tonight. First, we're catching massive perch on Lake Gogebic. And I sat down with Ashley Hamel of Republic to talk about her successful deer season. 3 bucks in 3 different states, including her biggest UP buck to date. And while we're on the topic of deer, I was invited to the Negaunee VFW deer feed. So sit back and relax. It's Monday night, and it's time for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
Lake Gogebic, home of the teeter pig, or whatever you want to call jumbo yellow perch. I met up with guide Justin Soffa from Just Fish Guide Services for a day on the ice.
Oh, fish. It's got some weight. So because of the depth we're fishing, we like to just kind of take our time, reel them up slow. As you get the pressure will ruin up their insides. What do we got down there? Nice perch. Just a giant. That's what we're talking about, a nice Lake Gogebic teeter pig perch. It's not a lot of these like these in here. It's like trophy hunting. You know they're here, you know they're around, you just gotta sit around and wait for them. Just like a trophy buck. But yeah, this is what people come here for. Real nice looking perch. So it's real important, fish like this, you see the eggs. Usually the big females like that, we just try to hurry up and get them back right away so they can go and repopulate the water. Thank you. Nothing like getting a teeter pig on your first fish. So what we have here on Lake Gogebic, we like to run what we call dead sticks. Generally what you want to find is a rod with a very soft tip on it. So when the fish grabs onto the line, they won't feel any resistance until they hit this spot right here. And to help us see, we're using a teeter pig spring bobber with a high vis ball on the end of it. So what we like to do is wigglers are the main forage for the perch here. So we'll just take one. We like to run 2 jigs on a line. So we'll tail hook them right through the end. And then we'll grab one more and we'll tail hook this guy as well. Sometimes the perch are a little bit more aggressive and they like to cruise higher up off the bottom, so that's where that second wiggler will help trip them. So right now we're in 27 feet of water. What we'll like to do is set it between 25 feet, so about 2 feet off the bottom. That way when those perch are cruising around, they're going to see that wiggler and they'll come up and hopefully smack it. And it's a little bit chilly here today, below freezing anyways. We like to just throw a hole cover over it to help keep that hole from freezing up on us. Those perch bite really light, so if you get ice in the hole, you want that line to be able to flow through real nice and easy, so you can detect the bites. Another monster. That might be one of the biggest perch in this lake. That Let's go Gogebic gold right there. Another really big fish. So that's not a bad start today. It's a real long one. Like I said, it's real important to get these big girls back in the water right away so they have a better chance to survive. See if these fish give us a minute, get some heat. So when we jig inside the shack, generally what we'll do is we'll run a spoon, and these will keep a little bit higher up just to try to draw the fish into the area. And the way the wigglers swim, they just kind of flap around. So I'll just kind of emulate when I'm jigging. Let's give it light twitches. When the fish will come in, I'll start to slowly pull it away. And I'll let it catch up. And then I'll pause it and see if it hits. If it doesn't hit, I'll start jiggling and pulling it away and see if it chases. And a lot of times I'll get a reaction out of them. When you're using a jigging rod, it's good to have that real soft tip on there. So as soon as they hit it, you'll feel it. A lot of times what happens is you'll be jigging like this, and the fish will grab it and the rod will just stop moving. It'll stay down and then you give it the beans.
We didn't have much action at first while jigging in the shack, marking fish, but not many were taking the bait, and you could tell we were getting a little shack happy in there.
That'd be something if you caught a fish backwards with your mitten.
Makes for good TV.
Yep. That's how we do it up here.
Finally, the guys got a few to bite.
Spook him. And he's on.
Not a bad fish.
No.
Cool.
Good eater if we're going to keep fish, but they get a free pass today.
Yeah. And you got him.
Perch.
Is it?
Yep. Nothing wrong with jigging them up, right?
Right.
A big part for finding where these fish are is finding active wiggler beds. This area in particular, we came out, we started fishing, ended up getting some fish, and they were actively feeding. When we pulled them up, they actually had mouthfuls of wigglers that they had just eaten. Some of them were still wiggling around even. So we knew that we were near a real good wiggler bed. Got them. There's some head shakes. Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, that one went to the bottom jig. She hit like she was a little baby, but you can see she's not much of a little baby. Not the biggest one we've got today, but definitely one of those nice Lake Gogebic females. Thank you. It's a trophy lake is what it is. You get a lot of those 13+ inch perch. You'll run into some nice eater sized fish, and there's kind of general locations where those fish will hang around. For the most part, I think the bigger females, they don't school up so much. They just kind of make little wolf packs, and they'll just cruise around looking for food. They don't tend to hang around with the little ones. If you're catching smaller perch, there's a really good chance that you're not going to catch a big one in that school. But it's a good thing to be around them because they're eating, which means the larger females will come around and eat at some point. The key to this lake is being patient. Seems like they picked it up in the last hour or so, seeing some more fish. Ooh, there we go. It's another giant Gogebic perch. Oh, how are you doing, lady? You come here often?
We fished all day. From sunrise to sunset, we put a total of 16 perch on top of the ice. Thanks, Justin, for all the tips for finding and catching teeter pigs.
I like the perch just because they're hard to catch. They're more of a challenge. They take a lot out of you, just trying to stay on top of them, but like I said, it's worth it in the end when you get on a good bite. Today was a pretty good bite.
I sat down with Ashley Hamel of Republic to talk about her successful 2024 deer season. 3 bucks in 3 different states, including her biggest UP buck to date.
We went to North Dakota the first or second week of September, and then I bow hunted Michigan for all of October, and then we went to Indiana second week of November during the rut. This is North Dakota. It was our second to last day there. I had just irritated my husband wanting to move my stand. So we moved my stand that day, and I sat at that evening, and this buck came out. And it came out perfect broadside. This one was a 20-yard shot. This one was a little bit further, but I knew that we only had a day left of hunting, and I really, really wanted to kill something with my bow. Any bow experience is a good experience, so I just whacked this one, and he didn't go too far either.
Ashley bow hunted most of October in the UP.
So I had cameras out all over, and I finally found an area where I was getting really good buck sign, and this awesome UP buck was showing up on camera, but he would disappear and come back and disappear and come back. And I just had a good feeling about this certain stand. He was sporadic in and out once in a while. He showed up on daylight a couple times, and I never imagined that he would actually show up the night that I shot him. I was pretty stoked about it. So I was actually in a ground blind, and I prefer to hunt from a tree stand, 100%. But in the area I was at to shoot this deer, I chose a ground blind, and I couldn't believe that he was the one that came out in front, that I wanted to make sure that he was the one, because there were some other 8-pointers that were there too. And he came in, and he immediately, because there's other bucks around, he immediately let out a big grunt sneeze. And I watched him do his grunt sneeze and like establish his dominance. It was really cool to watch. And then I pulled my bow and shot him. So right after he was being all huffy puffy, that's when I took my opportunity, because he wasn't really paying attention. So I think I shot him at 18 yards and called my husband, and we went looking. We had a good blood trail, and we just couldn't find this deer. I think we were pushing him. So it was actually kind of cool, because that night I contacted this man named Mike from Marquette Adventures, and he has an amazing little hound dog who tracks. And so I called him in. He said, yeah, of course, I'll be there to help you in the morning. And we went out and we tracked this deer for just about a mile. And that little dog tracked it. It was just amazing to watch her work. It was so cool. I ended up liver and one lunging it. But after that deer and after having the track, I said, number one, I'll never have to have another tracking dog again. Like, that's just a pact to me with myself. And number two, I just started practicing more. And the next year I ended up shooting in Indiana. It was a perfect shot. I just shot the biggest deer. I'm pretty sure I shot it through the heart. I could see my arrow as a pass through. And it's full of blood. This is my Indiana buck that I shot. My biggest deer to date. This deer was just massive. He scored at 138 inches. So he is a Pope and Young with a bow. I didn't enter him. I was going to, but you have to get that all professionally measured and everything. And I was just as happy as shooting this deer, that it doesn't really matter how much he scored to me, really. It was just the experience of it. So this one is like my pride and joy right here. This is a nice deer.
Congrats, Ashley, on an amazing deer season. It's only February, and Ashley says they are already making plans for this fall. Sticking with the subject of deer hunting, what happens after deer season is over? Answer: many meals with venison as the main ingredient. One of those meals each year is for a great community of veterans. I was invited to dinner at the VFW Post 3165 in Negaunee for their deer feed.
You're eating venison, they're cooked in gravy, polenta, they got mashed potatoes, and pasta they had. Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Tonight we're having our deer feed. I think this is one of the first ones we've had here in probably 20 years. And it's all about the veterans and the volunteers. I've been a volunteer for many years here and I enjoy it. Just a great post, and we can't forget about our veterans. We have to keep giving them support as an auxiliary and keeping our building alive and well.
We're having a game feed to raise some money for the club, so we have money to do our charitable donations we give out. For instance, the honor flight that we take veterans to Washington, D.C. We raise money for that. There's a UP Veteran of the Year program that we donate money to. Darn near everybody who asks for money gets it if we got it, you know. So we try to have functions like this to do that.
I'm glad Danny and the coaches are cooking it, because they used to be at the KCs all the time, and then they closed down, and now they had this one this year. I was glad they have it because it's really enjoyable, you know. As you can see, the people that are here, you know.
90 pounds of venison from last year's season went to good use.
We had a lot of people here last night cutting up the venison and getting it ready. We came here today to finish it off and prepare this meal, so it's been awesome.
Head chef in the kitchen is recently retired Negaunee Miners head football coach Paul Jacobson.
We love to do it. We've been doing this for I don't know how many years now, but it's a great cause, and you know it's a great event to get people together and enjoy venison.
I was fortunate to dine with a great group of vets.
I'm a veteran, Vietnam veteran.
When did you serve?
69, 71.
And what division? Army?
Army. Yeah. 24th Corps. Artillery. Survey. Yeah. And I still remember coming home. Yeah. Like I always said, I'll forgive them, but I'll never forget what they did to us. So, and leave it at that.
Are there a lot of veterans in the house today?
I'd say a good majority of them are veterans, and a lot of them are, we have quite a few auxiliary members here that are sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. Matter of fact, our auxiliary is larger than our post membership.
I was drafted in 1968 and I wound up joining the Army, and they found me a nice medical job. So I was a medic in the Army. I went to Vietnam in 1969. And then I came home in 71. And then it turned out to be a really good experience for me versus a lot of the men that were there and the women too.
I served from 1959 to 62.
In Vietnam?
No, we first place we went where I got a medal was the Congo. We sailed to the Congo with Malaysian jungle fighters, went right up the river to Matadi. And the second one was we carried bombs into Thailand for Laos, and we offloaded them in Bangkok. So that's where I got my ribbons.
My dad was a lifelong member, Korean War veteran, and he always say, when you walk through these doors, remember what this place is about. And I'll never forget that. So I always give 110% support to our veterans.
I would just like to honor the veterans that are in the homes that cannot get out. They're the ones that deserve the credit. You know, they're sitting in a home and can't do much. They're the ones I think deserve all the credit. Yeah.
A special thank you to all the veterans there and to veterans around the country for your service. And thank you to the Negaunee VFW for an excellent evening. Last tonight, I want to make sure that you all know about the Curtis Kids Fish Coop and Winter Carnival that's happening on Saturday, February 15th. Gates open at 9 a.m. with kids fishing from 9 to 2. The crew is dumping 1,500 trout under the ice for kids to catch, plus a prize for every kid angler. There's a chili cook-off, bonfire, music, open skating, a piñata, and fireworks at dusk. I had a blast covering this event last year, so bring the kiddos to the Curtis Kids Fish Coop and Winter Carnival on Saturday, February 15th. That's all for tonight, and I hope to see you right back here next week for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.